Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hope you guys are well. We are going to watch a short video clip of Hatun Tash where she is arguing that there is a contradiction between two Qira'at, the Hafs Qira'at and the Warsh Qira'at in Quran chapter 2 verse 184. After watching this video, I will explain to you about this difference and I will show you that these differences are complementary, not contradictory.
If you come fast,
Sorry?
if you cannot fast, what you have to do according to this verse?
I have no idea. Whatever it says.
So read the verse. So if you cannot fast,
Yeah, you have to pay.
you have to feed one per person.
Yeah.
Okay, correct? So in here, do you read Arabic?
Yeah.
Do you understand Arabic?
Why is this? Basically, I memorized this one. Yeah. It's meant to say figure at one time.
Yeah, that's right. That's
It's just
right.
Quran me. So I don't know, but this could be like.
It's this verse.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
So is this false Quran?
I have no idea, but that's the one I read.
So this is the one you read,
No,
okay?
this one.
Yeah, it's this one, Hafs Quran.
The half Quran. What's this
Yeah,
Quran?
this is
Yeah,
Warsh Quran.
Sorry?
Warsh Quran.
Yeah, but that's just a different. That's probably. So I've memorized half of this,
Yeah.
but this one, basically, that might be a different Quran.
Yeah.
Might be a different Quran.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this Quran, this
It might be a
Quran is,
different Qira'ah. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what does that mean. But all I am making a case is,
Yeah.
this book, the one you memorize, half of this,
Yeah.
is different from this Quran. So that's why I'm asking, which one is correct? So do I need to feed two people or one person? If I can't fast, what I need to do?
I'm not a scholar, I don't know, but obviously that's just a different Qira'ah.
As you have seen the video, the first point to be noted that when the guy was asking, is this a different Qira'at? What was the response of Hatun Tash? Hatun just ignored and said that, I don't know. I don't know what does that mean. Now, is it true? Because nobody can know the differences between the Qira'at without knowing the Qira'at. Now, for the sake of argument, let's assume the two possibility that she really does not know, and the second possibility is she knows. If the first possibility is true, or if the first case is true, she really does not know, then what she is doing is ultra crepidarianism, is speaking out of her knowledge. She is speaking about the subject that about which she has no knowledge. So this is actually a form of hypocrisy because you are showing yourself as a knowledgeable in front of person while you don't know. The second possibility is that she knows but she is lying. So this is also some sort of hypocrisy because you are covering the truth to make up your point. So in either way, she is doing hypocrisy. Now, showing two different mushaf with two different qira'at doesn't prove anything. Like there are even mushaf with 10 qira'at combined in one. There are even mushaf with 10 different 10 qira'at in one book form. So, and I will try to make another video about different version of Quran, what the Christian missionaries mean, and I will, if I have enough time, because I actually stay busy due to my study reasons. If I have enough time, I will try to make another video. Now, secondly, those who guys are watching this video, you have to have a little bit of knowledge about Qira'at, what Qira'at is, what the 10 Qira'at are, how they are accepted, why they are accepted, a little bit of knowledge about the history. Nevertheless, I will add a very brief article in the description box. If you are not familiar with, Do check it out. Thirdly, if we look into this particular case of difference in Qira'at, it is in Quran chapter 2 verse 184. The difference is actually singular and plural form of the same word, which is miskin. Miskin is actually in singular form, which means a poor person, and the word masakin is actually the plural form of the word miskin, which means poor persons, not two or three people as Hatun was claiming. It's not definitely indicated. Now, what is their viewpoint? What is the viewpoint of these Christian missionaries on these differences in Quran? Their viewpoint is maybe or may not be some of these differences are original. Maybe and may not be. And Muslims don't know which is the original and which is not. And mistakes of reciters incorporated into the recitation of Quran. That is their view. Farid Response has two video on his channel about this. Qira'at is the Qira'at and mistakes, and Fadl Sulaiman actually had 1 hour video is the Qira'at mistakes or miracle. I highly suggest those videos. Those videos are actually very informative than me. Nevertheless, I will give a short or brief logical answer to this. The particular difference here is miskin and masakin. The word masakin has been in plural form has been recited by Nafi', Ibn Amir, and Abu Ja'far among the 10 reciters. These 3 reciters have recited the word in a plural form, masakin, and the rest 7 reciters recited in singular form, which is miskin. Now, if we assume that the word miskin is original and the word masakin is actually mistaken, it is actually mistake of the reciters, but it actually becomes very illogical or irrational. How? The 3 reciters lived in different regions. Abu Ja'far and Nafi lived in Medina, but Ibn Amir lived in Sham or Damascus. So they are making mistakes. They were making mistakes simultaneously in the same place, living in different regions. It is actually very unlikely. Now, if we assume that the word masakin is real and the word miskin is mistake or incorrect, then it becomes more irrational, because it is very unlikely that all of the 7 reciters living in different regions, maybe 3 of them from Kufa, that they have made the same mistake in the same place simultaneously. It's very unlikely. Now, if we assume that both of them are mistakes, this becomes more irrational, that 7 of them reciting in the same way are making the same mistakes and 3 of them making the same mistakes. What it suggests is that the 7, if we talk about this particular case of Quran chapter 2 verse 184, the 7 has a common single source and the other 3 has a common single source. Now, if we it is safe to assume it, because firstly, throughout the history there was a scheme that you have to learn Quran from your sheikh, for your imam, or for your predecessors. There was nothing that it is not like the case that childs are born and they started to recite Quran on their own. A sheikh or a teacher have to taught him or her to how to recite the Quran. So the 7 reciters have a common source and the 3 reciters have a common source, and it's more rational to assume this. Now, if we analyze the differences between the 10 Qira'at, the total number of differences are 1457 words. According to Fadl Sulaiman, he actually translated the differences between the 10 Qira'at in English language. So it's probably 1 or 2% of the entire words of the Quran. So 98% of the time, roughly 98% of the time, the reciters recited the Quran in the same way. And this strongly suggests that these reciters, these 10 reciters, have a common single source. Now, these differences defined also have to have emerged from this common single source. Now, is this the scenario? Is this the phenomenon in reality? Amazingly, yes. If we find the biography of the Qurra have learned the recitation from their predecessors. Their predecessors have learned the recitation from their predecessors, and their predecessors learned in turn from one common single source, and the single source is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And there is lot of traditional reports that the Quran has been recited by Prophet in different manners to different companions. So these differences in recitation actually aptly accommodates with the Islamic notion of the historical transmission of Quran and the preservation of the Quran. That's why Western scholars like Angelica Newwitt says that the manuscripts, the new manuscripts is actually affirming the traditional picture of the Quran. Now one can ask, okay, it's very rational to say that the differences are original. And it's very much irrational to say that they are mistakes. Now, if we assume that they are both are original, then what Allah meant by these differences? Isn't this a contradiction? The answer is like that. Now, for the sake of simplicity, I will mention Hafs Qira'at and Warsh Qira'at. Though Hafs are a student of Asim, and Asim is one of the trained reciters, and Warsh is the student of Nafi, and that's why Warsh recited the word in a plural form. So I will say Hafs Qira'at and Warsh Qira'at, and I will not talk about the 10 Qari. So the recitation of the Hafs Qira'at is in singular form, miskin, which indicates that you have to feed a poor person for your permis day, and you can feed more than if you missed more than a day, you can feed the same poor person for all of your missed day. For example, you have person X, you can feed the same person X for your day 1, day 2, day 3 to cover up all of your missed days. And the Warsh Qira'at, which use the word as masakin in plural form, indicates that you can feed multiple person to cover up all of your missed day. For example, you can feed person X to cover up your missed day 1, you can feed person Y to cover up your missed day 2, and other person to cover up all of your missed days. Now one can ask, isn't it a hard and strict rule that you cannot feed more than a person? Feeding more than a person is actually a sin, S-I-N, sin. The answer is no, because the very next phrase of the same verse is saying that وَمَنْ تَطَوَّأَ فِي خَيْرٍ فَهُوَ فِي خَيْرِ اللَّهِ. If you exceed, if you feed, meaning if you feed more than a person, is actually better for you. And this verse has been recited in the same manner by all the 10 reciters. So if you feed more than a person, it is actually encouraged if you have the ability to feed. So we are finding 3 ways to perform the duty. The first way, which is indicated by Hafs Qira'at, that you can feed same person to cover up all of your missed days. And this way is actually suitable for those areas where poor people are not large in number. So you can feed same person in every day. And the other way to perform the duty is you can feed different person, multiple of person in your different days, and this is suitable for those area where poor people are large in number. So you can feed different or multiple of poor person. And the third way is you can feed multiple person for single day, in a single day, and this is actually suitable for the rich people because they have lot of money and they can spend money for the poor. and this action actually has been encouraged by Allah, because if you have the ability, it is better for you, it is saying. Now the other way of understanding this difference is the phrase you started with the word alladhina, and linguistically alladhina means a group of people, and it also can refer individuals from a group of people. So when in Hafs Qira'at it is saying miskin, it is referring to the individuals believer, and when it is saying in Hafs Warsh Qira'at masakin, it is meaning that a group of people will feed a group of poor people. So as we have seen that these differences actually complementary, they are not even incoherent, let alone a contradiction. That's why scholars like Sheikhul Islam Ibn Taymiyyah said these differences are complementary, not contradictory. They did not say it out of air. They have studied these differences, and that's why Hatun Tash was actually afraid of mentioning Qira'at, because those who are actually open-minded, those who are eager to know about this phenomenon, if they find the truth about this phenomenon, they will actually come to the truth, or come to the conclusion. That's why people like Fadil Sulaiman actually published these differences in English language, so that the people can understand these differences. But alas, this is actually the bread and butter of these Islamophobes, to attack Islam, to malign Islam in every way possible. They will not spare any single opportunity to attack Islam. My last advice is, stay away from these types of hypocrite person. And if you are really eager to know this, there are many institutions all over the world giving courses on ilmul qiraat.